Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got some 28mm stuff on parade here. Parade order. This is just about everything I own, Napoleonics wise, 28mm scale. Pretty close. Some of it's not done, most of it is. I don't think I've ever laid everything out before you. I don't even think I got to what happened with the Laissant building, so we'll break it down for you. And there's some new additions since I've talked to you as well. So what we have is, we'll start with the British and go with the British Household Brigade Cavalry. These guys came out way nice. Perhaps not as nice as the Greys over here. Probably still my favorite unit that I've done. But came out nice enough. Very pleased. And then we have, of course, the Scots Greys. And then we have some British Hussars, unpainted. Not sure when I'll get to that, who knows, but they're there if needed. And I have this artillery limber that I picked up, pretty cool. Comes with riders, I opted not to paint them to save time. And then of course the 3 artillery units here. What else? Let's see. King's German Legion's 2nd Light, which came with the Laissant building battle set. Those guys came out great. And then the 95th Rifles. We've all seen those already. But those came out nice as well. And then all the British stuff, line units, as you can see. Do have, well, this is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 line units. Then we have a Highlanders unit back here. Also have another box set of Highlanders to beef them up if needed, but those aren't primed or anything. They're literally still in the shrink. Hanoverians, because, well, if I ever need those, I have those. Came with the Laissant set, I believe, or with the Waterloo set, I think, rather. And then another British final 12th potential British line unit. So these guys, a lot of work, man, but again, it came out great. The most recent one I finished was today, and the problem, if you can call it that, is I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I've gotten better at this. And if you look at what I finished this today, and if you would go back and look at what I did, I don't remember who that would be on the table, but my first unit, I mean, there's a visible difference, stark contrast. So I'm making progress. Been painting since June 6th, so that would be expected. Some leaders here for the British. And then the Laissant building I was working on that I don't think I ever showed you. It does come with a wooden floor piece that is white. I always wondered why it was white. I think it's some sort of chalky limestone thing that was used back in the day for farms to keep the dust down or to cut down on mud, or I don't know, something along those lines. I'm not a farmer guy, but that's what it was used for. I opted not to include it in this photo shoot, but building came out okay. I would say average. I don't know if I'd say above average. If you look closer, you can see it's a little rough. You can see brush strokes, which drive me nuts. But it's I can live with it. I don't know how much better I would be able to get with what I had to work with. So, about average. Satisfactory. Come to the French. Excuse me. We've got, this is just a heavy cavalry unit that I finished during the week last week. These guys came out great. The horses I had a little trouble with. I know I wanted to do black, and I tried to break that black down with some gray, and it won't show up on camera here, but that didn't work out quite so well. But the riders came out wonderfully. Again, not sure if these are as good as the Scots Greys, but pretty damn good. And then some Lancers behind them. Chasseurs Cheval. I think this is my first cavalry unit. Again, they're acceptable, but when you compare this to the most recent here, my These guys are just candy. Just hard candy. And then we have some French hussars here, as needed. Don't know that I necessarily need them, but there they are. 3 more artillery units. These would be for the French. Some engineers that came with the liaison set. Had fun painting these guys. Love the sculpts and the stances. Each one different pose-wise. Old Guard. I did these in exile during the storm. Came home, finished them up. Came out nice. I took my time. Spent a lot of time on these guys. Focused as much as I could on trying to break down the white on the belts and the vests, so you could make each thing apart. Not sure how well that came across, but I did my best there. Again, more French units and an extra French line unit, which would be the 12th line unit if I ever get to it. Again, if you look at what I started with compared to the most recent one I finished, there is a way, and I wasn't sure how, and I finally fell upon it, to make gray look not boring. It's a technique that I finally think I have, I don't want to say mastered, but made myself aware of and have learned yet to master it. But this is my most recent French unit, and by George, if only I was up to par painting wise in this respect when I started. But you know, you got to start somewhere, because some of these guys look pretty crappy. But that's how it goes. What is this? Caisson, artillery caisson for the French that I picked up. And then French leaders. And then French ambulance. Needs primed, needs work. Not in any hurry, obviously, on that unit. But yeah, lots of stuff, man. And when you consider that I've been going, what, off and on 4 months, hot and heavy for 3, that's progress, if I do say so myself. So there it is. That's most everything I have. There's some stuff that I now have accumulated in boxes. A few scatterings of British line, not enough to make a unit, etc. There's some Prussians I doubt that I will ever get to, because if I have time to get to Prussians, I need more British and or French. And the way I've got these based line unit wise is 20 per unit. So if you look at this line unit right here, that is 20. And that allows for 11 units. Well, there's your 12th that's not finished. Now I can change this up and do, say, the standard Warlord 24 soldiers per unit. That would allow me 9 units though. And I suppose that would work for certain scenarios, but 9 units, though it may sound like a lot, it just isn't much when you get them on the table. And then some of you wackos out there have, I've noticed, 36 soldiers per unit. If I was to do something like that, that would only allow me 6 units. So perhaps a small engagement would allow me to do 36 guy units, but I think I'm going to stick with the 20, which gives me 11 units. And again, a potential 12th for each side there. We're going to walk into the kitchen where all the magic happens and let you see what is going on in there, and then I'll cut you loose. So right in here we go, and there's the cat sitting in my chair. A lot of epic battles, ACW stuff set up right now. Still needing attention, but there's the infamous light, which has saved my eyes because the lighting in here is terrible. And some of this stuff is so small, you need this thing. The little magnifying glass there really helps. Now these paints you might see, you might think, my God, you bought all those for... No. I would say about half or more of these already owned from, again, the Flames of War madness that I've gone through. And then that said, some of these guys probably don't even work. They're probably all dried out. And when it comes to what I've been doing, I would say I only really use a dozen plus or minus of these guys regularly. So there's that. And then there's the 3 French artillery units and 3 British artillery units. Should I feel inclined to head that direction. This stuff is great for your brushes, cleans and conditions them, because if you have a real paintbrush, it's real hair. I have 2 sable hair brushes. It's just like hair on your head. It will split in, it will get funky, and you want to take care of it. So that's what I have for that. Works great. And then the where's my Cadillac brush? I got 2 of them actually. This is the, gee whiz, where is it? Here we go. Number 7, Series 7, you can't read that. Finest sable, Windsor and Newton, England. I don't use this for everything. I use it for certain things. Primarily anything in white, such as straps or things like that. We'll use the number 7. And then I have another smaller brush that doesn't quite get used as much as I thought it would. That's a 000. Again, doesn't get used near as much as the 000 brush. So again, the more American Civil War stuff. Waiting in the wings. So yeah, wanted to share that with you as well. I think that's about it. Upcoming videos, not sure. I do have a 28mm windmill on the way to spruce up the table. So that should be neat. And I think that's it. So I'll talk to you guys soon, and take care.